Hi, I'm Laurel, a historian from the year 2300. I live in the most peaceful era in human history. No war, no poverty. Everyone carries a translation chip. Whatever we say, we understand each other instantly. But that's the problem. In a world that perfect, we've forgotten what pain feels like. Since I rewired the time observation machine, I've been sneaking through to find the stories that never made it into history books, because the people in them were never supposed to be remembered. But I heard her, just a whisper from centuries ago. They told her she was born to serve noblemen, to pour their wine, to sleep in their beds. But one night, she didn't stay. This is the story of a girl who ran not for love, not for revenge, just for herself. Lake Goryeo period, east quarter of the capital. A name had just been added to the official registry of kisaeng, Eunhee. Just a name like so many others. But her fate had been decided long before, since the day her mother died. At 6, Eunhee would sneak out to play beneath the pear tree, making mud pies with the neighbor boy. He was a nobleman's son, surname Kim, gentle, well-read, always smiling with a rolled-up poem in hand. She remembered his laughter. She remembered the verses, too. At 8, her mother collapsed after a spring banquet. All she left behind were 2 trembling hands resting on Eunhee's shoulders. By 13, she was sent to the kisaeng training house, a place her mother once belonged to. She learned to play the jiamungo, compose verses, pour tea with grace, and most importantly, how to smile without revealing her thoughts. Kim still watched her from the garden, sometimes with a book, sometimes with tea, never speaking. Still the same boy under the pear tree. Eunhee knew it was only a matter of time. Soon, she would serve wine, sing, dance, or worse. When she turned 16, the madam said she was ready for banquets. That night, Kim finally spoke. "If you'll have me, I'll marry you." She looked up. He looked back. Nothing was said, but something stirred in her chest. She lowered her gaze. "I can't." "You'd rather stay here? Be treated like an object?" "I don't want to. I just always knew I would." She smiled, but it looked like crying. He hadn't taken the civil exams. His name wasn't in the records yet. If he married her, his name might never be written at all. She understood his heart, but she also understood the cost. As he turned away, snow landed softly on her fingertips. She didn't move, just watched him go. She was 16. He was 18. 2 weeks later, she began attending banquets, the formal entrance into her life as a working kisaeng. By day, she traded poems with men, pretending to be scholars. By night, she poured wine, endured flattery, and foul whispers, and tried to forget the promises she never got to keep. The madam said she still had time to get used to the job. She knew better. Time wasn't mercy. It was a countdown. That night, she dreamt of hands pulling her into black fog. She woke drenched in sweat, threw on a cloak, and slipped out into the cold. 2 months later, they named her to serve a nobleman in his bed. She refused, so they forced her, dragged her into a room, poured wine down her throat, beat her until she bled. She was left bruised, torn, alone. After she was sent back to her room, just when she thought she was broken and alone, a voice came from the shadows. "Rub this on your arms. It'll help." It was Sukyoung, the oldest kisaeng, no longer serving guests, just sewing and brewing medicine. Eunhee sat up, shaking, took the ointment, whispered thanks. Sukyoung said, "If the day ever comes when you want to leave, there's a key under the old incense burner, east wall." She paused. "You're not weak. You still want to live. That's why you're strong." Later that night, someone knocked gently on her window. "It's me," Kim said. "I just came to see you." No more talk of marriage. Just eyes full of ache. "I have a carriage and silver for us to run." Just say the word. She stared at him, then whispered, the pear tree. At sunset. 2 days from now. If you're sure, meet me there. She closed the window. That night, Eunhee sat on her bed, crying silently. She wasn't afraid of leaving. She was afraid that he would come. Because if he did, there would be no turning back. She prayed, if I can, still live a life that's mine. Please, just show me the way. Suddenly, crash! A thud from the dressing room. Then, ow! My foot! Eunhee froze, picked up a hairpin, crept forward, pulled back the curtain, and saw me, wearing mismatched clothes, limping, grinning up at her like an idiot. Don't be scared. I'm here to help. Who are you? I came from very far away. Very, very far. Wrong portal. Right place. She blinked. Are you a goddess? Oh no. I am just a clumsy listening sister. We sat. After a while, she told me everything. The poetry. The dinners. The promise under the pear tree. I listened. Then said, if you don't want to ruin his future, we can make sure he doesn't show up. How? Tell his father. Let him know his son wants to marry a courtesan. Eunhee was quiet for a long time, then nodded. 2 days later, we waited for a while. No one came to the tree. Eunhee stood there, wrapped in a travel cloak. I walked beside her. He won't come, she said. I nodded. I already knew. Eunhee had sent the message to his father herself. This afternoon, Kim's father summoned him. There was shouting, then silence. He was locked in his room. While he tried to break the windows, tears ran down his cheeks. Eunhee, I'm sorry. Later that night, 2 figures passed the city moat, stepped into a waiting carriage. The driver carried a forged document, a new identity, a new life. As the carriage crossed the city gates, Eunhee wept. I held her gently. You did the right thing. For both of you. I handed her the paper. From today onward, you choose who you are. Whose friend? Whose woman? Whose Eunhee? The wheels creaked away, disappearing into snowfall. I didn't save her. I didn't rewrite history. I just helped her find the exit that had always been there. She never claimed to be brave. But that night, she left. Not for love. Not for vengeance. Just for herself. She was trembling. She was crying. But she walked out anyway. And for that, she lived a life that was her own. I'm Laurel. I keep sneaking back through time to the corners no one remembers. And if someday you find yourself whispering, do I still have a choice? Well, don't be surprised if I show up behind your closet door. Just, please don't scream. I swear, I had a reason this time.